Welcome everybody to the Low Blow Podcast. I am your host Manny. I'm joined by my boy Lefty to my left, and across from him is everybody's OG. Man, we got a big. It's fight week. Super excited. We are excited for
One of the biggest fight weeks of the year.
This is the shit that we live for,
Maybe
man.
the biggest fight week of the year so far.
Yeah, so far I would definitely two big fights of the year. We have Benavidez, the Mexican monster, versus Zurdo Ramirez from Mazatlán, Mexico. The only two Mexicans to ever face each other at that weight, at cruiserweight. So that's pretty cool. That's never been done before. Mexicans don't really go up in that way, so that's.
I did not know that.
This is history in the making, man.
Mexicans are pretty small, you know what I'm saying? So.
I stacked undercard under that as well. Resendiz versus Caleb Plant. No, I'm sorry, versus Munguia. And then we also have Inoue versus Nakatani. Big Japanese showdown. Man, I can't imagine how it is right now in Tokyo out there and the energy that's gonna be this week. Man, it's like a city torn in half, man. So Nakatani obviously coming in to dethrone the king right now, the monster of Japan, man. Inoue, who has been just dominating for the most part all the fights that he's been having. Nakatani having kind of a little bit of trouble in his last fight.
Just the last fight, but
makes it interesting, man.
Yeah,
so let's get right into it, man. Benavidez versus El Zurdo Ramirez, lefty. How you see this fight starting off? How you see it going in the middle, and then how you see it ending?
So this, just to preface the conversation, this is Benavidez obviously going in there undefeated. This is going to be his debut at the cruiserweight limit, which is at 200 pounds. So he's going up from 175. Whether he'll weigh 200 pounds is TBD, I guess, on his side.
But does he walk around? I think he walks around.
He's a bigger dude, yeah.
He walks around there around that weight, right? So.
Yeah. Zurdo obviously has been in that division. He's got two of the titles there. So big risk for Benavidez, obviously going for the top dog, which maybe many are saying between Zurdo and Opataya, the top two guys at cruiserweight. Going in there for his first, and this will make him a 3-division world champ. And in the winner, obviously, you set up for a potential fight against who I think is the number one guy, Jay Opataya. How I see this fight going,
Bebo.
Cruiserweight is one of those divisions.
Well, not at cruiserweight. Bivol not a cruiserweight, is he?
No. He's a light heavyweight. So when Zurdo fought Bivol, there was at light heavyweight.
Right.
Then he moved up after. So mentioning Bivol, with Zurdo, I just, from what I saw, first off, the cruiserweight division has been probably one of the less talked about divisions in boxing in general.
Yeah.
Most guys go from light heavyweight.
Either go up or go down, yeah.
Light heavyweight straight into heavyweight,
right.
And so this is kind of a stopping point that isn't really talked about much.
Yeah, which is really cool. I mean, they'll fight this magnitude.
Exactly. So that happening, I'm going to revert back to the best Zurdo that I've seen before, and I don't think that exists anymore. At I think maybe 168 pounds was when he had his best. So when he fought Bivol, one of the things that I noticed that I expect this to happen now, and where Benavidez take advantage, is he's really slow on his feet.
Yeah.
He's really slow on his feet. He throws a lot of punch, or can hurt you with punches from all sorts of punches. The uppercut, obviously the hook, and he uses all of them, and he uses them well. But, I just think the level of opposition at cruiserweight is just not there to convince me enough. The big question is, how is Benavidez going to adjust to the new weight? I think he is maybe probably more natural to him, where he walks around more comfortably.
David
Benavidez. So on his end, I just think he's just going to be too quick, too many punches at a time. He's not going to sit there and trade with Zurdo, because that's where Zurdo's probably, he's going to plant his feet and throw back. So I think more on the Benavidez side, I think he's going to be more elusive, take his shots where he could. I don't see any knockdowns happening, just because we've seen less of that as Benavidez has moved up.
Yeah.
But he's still a beast. Nothing to take away from him. I think this fight goes 12.
Zurdo ever been knocked down?
I don't think that's what I was going to say.
Because I know Benavidez has. So.
Benavidez has. I don't think
flash knockdowns. Morel rocked him a little bit as well.
Based on Zurdo's last fight, I just don't see that happening for him doing that to Benavidez. I think, like I said, the big question mark here is how does he adjust, especially in the later rounds when it comes to conditioning and weight. He's always the guy that trains to go 12 rounds, and he fights the same round 1 that he does round 12. So he's never had an issue with that before.
Benavidez.
Yeah, Benavidez. Yeah. He's never had a tired issue. It's just more how does the power translate to a bigger weight class. That said, I don't think anyone goes down. I think it's a lot of punches and bunches for Benavidez the same way where Zurdo's trying to catch him. I just think the speed is on a different level. So I definitely got Benavidez by decision. Unanimous, by the way. I don't think it's fairly close, especially in the later rounds when Zurdo knows he's behind. I just don't see him. It's just a speed thing. It's all going to come down.
Yeah, fast hands. Like we've seen, if we go back and look at all the fighters that Benavidez fought, I know there's a lower division, but more slower guys. He's just
he's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. Like punching
hand
speed. Yeah, but Yarde actually could move and stuff like that. But
Morel too. I mean,
yeah. So I think it's just that. But that was at 168, right?
Yarde? 175.
Before
that was at 168.
Morel was 168, right?
175.
Morel was 175 too.
Both of them, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then because they were more elusive guys, but even then, over a latter part of the fight, it just catches up to him. You can see him wearing out. You might not even see it in the beginning, but you see wow, these guys are wearing out. After a while, that's just the way he fights, man. Pressure, the amount of punches, you know what I mean? And then
he keeps as guys slow down, he
keeps going.
He keeps going or steps it up.
Yeah, and so but then but this is going to be what you're talking about, 20 pounds heavier, a guy that's 20-some pounds. He's probably going to be more than that, right? Zurdo's going to come in at what?
Who knows? He's a bigger guy. He's
right.
sluggish. And I think that goes against him even more.
It does.
He better come in better.
But then again, we're talking about punching power. I don't know, man. I think if we think it's the way the pressure and all that stuff in the later rounds is gonna be the key to the fight or weekly for Benavidez, I think it just could be a stoppage.
A stoppage.
A late round stoppage. Yeah.
On whose favor?
The referee.
Yeah, referee stops it if he's keeps getting hit. Benavidez. Yeah.
I could see that. I try not to agree all the time with you, but I respect that. That's
a stoppage. I can see that happening, but I mean, we don't know. I think Zurdo has to rock him at least in the earlier rounds to kind of negate that happening in the later.
Power.
Yeah, to see how it is. So we'll see. And I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I think you don't want to look ahead, but to make that super fight going forward, if Benavidez with him at JL Patai, that'd be so sick.
Yeah. I think it's very tough. I try to see it how Zurdo could win this fight, and I try to see it from him how there's obviously ways anybody can lose when you step in the ring.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it. I just don't see this happening. I think Benavidez is in a rampage right now. He's running, just beating the fuck out of everybody that gets in his way. I feel like he's on a clear mission, and anybody that's standing in front of him are just in his way. So I think he clearly understands this. The only thing that I can see affecting David Benavidez is obviously the size. He is smaller than Zurdo, and him going up in weight some more. The power obviously hasn't translated as much. It hasn't. Knockout power, maybe not. But, just violent, slow, little by little.
That hasn't changed. Because I think that's what
I think
still very violent.
Where his power hasn't translated into the bigger divisions, his aggressiveness and continuous punches have made up for it.
Yeah.
So either way, if he's not knocking guys out, a lot of people when they talk about Benavidez, even people that don't watch boxing, go back to the fight against Porky Medina. We rattled him with 6-7 punches at a time and knocked him down.
The sickest fucking
Maybe that that power hasn't translated into 168, into 175, and even less cruiserweight, but he's made it up in throwing punches like that.
The speed hasn't really changed for Benavidez.
Yeah.
The combos are still there. Like we said, the aggressiveness is still there, and the speed on which he's throwing it seems to still be there.
I think he's one of the only fighters that you watch. He doesn't really have knockout power. He's knocking dudes over like crazy,
with
one punch type. It just people enjoy watching a fight because the combinations that he puts at you.
I was about to say
10, 12 punch combinations is just crazy.
Another thing to add to that is when he does get hurt, he comes in more aggressive. So it makes it for him. I've seen him when I forgot, was it Yarde or whoever he fought, one of those fights where he smiled at him when he hit him clean.
Yeah.
He can. Then he came in strong.
Morale caught him too, and he came
Morale
back.
caught him.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I noticed when he's fighting, when he has an opponent kind of against the ropes, he's going off in his combos, but his
he can
hands
get
are
caught.
down.
Yeah, he can
That's
get
when
caught.
he gets
Gotcha.
caught. It's a little quick, like when the opponent's like, yeah, a little quick, like hook. That's when he gets caught.
And then we'll see
You know,
how like.
but he's already like throwing 1,300 punches on your ass, so he's already like on a roll. Like, so it's very.
By that time, the punches don't affect you as much when the fighter's already worn down. You know what I mean?
When you got this guy, like,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like David Benavidez is very good at smelling blood, and when he smells blood, he's
going
locked
for it.
in, and you can hit him as hard as you can. Yeah, you could probably rock him a little bit, but he's coming to kill you. So I think that would be very hard. I don't see Zurdo having that kind of power against Benavidez. I've been seeing David Benavidez training. He's focusing a lot on power for this fight. So with that being
that would
said,
be a wrong strategy, in my opinion.
with that being said, I had
Use your speed.
Yeah,
I had
just use
David
your speed.
Benavidez knocking him out.
Like knocking him out cold.
Knocking him out, either cold or him not getting up. Like,
No, I mean, at
In the
least
later
kind of
rounds.
in the middle, both of us, I see your pathway more than.
yeah, I see any of these.
Because I
for
think
real.
like for him to train, so like I'm gonna knock this guy out. I don't think that's like I don't know. We're not in his corner, and whatever he's been doing has been working. That's why I will go off like, why change something that's not broken? Your hand speed, that's like your advantage against most of these fighters.
Yeah.
So why not capitalize on that?
Bro.
But I mean, I don't like. To your point, when you said like how it's dope, man. I can't wait for this weekend, man. You said like Benavidez when he gets hits, when he gets hit, he comes back even stronger. It's the same thing we talk about Inoue, man. Like and Inoue's been rocked. He's been like she dropped. You know what I mean? So
Dropped, yeah.
yeah. So it's just
Hard.
like yeah.
Like he could get knocked out.
we'll see about that. Yeah, but
yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
yeah, for sure, man. I just think, I guess we can close this out, right? The Benavidez one. We have kind of predictions.
Yeah.
I think if we want to get some quick final thoughts, like I said, Benavidez is on a clear mission to collect all the fucking belts, whatever he wants to do. To be honest, if he wants to go up in weight, whatever he wants to do.
Oh, one
And
thing I did want to say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah,
cut
go
you off. So they used to spar together.
They sparred
They
before.
sparred, yeah. They're
Right,
friends. They're
right,
they're
friends,
yeah,
and like,
friends, yeah.
but I mean, obviously, Ben David was a lot younger at that time, right? Zurdo was already like
Well, Zurdo wasn't. He was at like probably 175, I think, when.
Right,
There,
right.
he's alluded to the fact that they're friends. When Zurdo fought, who was his last big fight?
People?
Yes, they asked him. You sparred both of them. Who would you take? He's like, I would like to see Zurdo win. He's Mexican. I'm Mexican. He's a friend of mine. So they're friends. But my final thoughts is, I just think the speed. If you just looked at like a diagram of Bivol's movement, of his feet movement when he fought Zurdo, it's like he just couldn't catch him. He was moving all over the place. His feet were
but-
still. And I'm not
but
saying
different fight
Benavidez.
styles, though,
Yeah, I'm
too,
not
though.
saying Benavidez feet like that.
Right.
But I think hand wise,
Yeah,
I think he's gonna
at
get to
all.
a point where it's demoralizing for him to be like, this guy's coming at me hard. He's hitting me all these times, and I can't catch him. I
yeah.
can every time.
That's
For
a
every
good-
3 that I'm taking, I'm landing one back. And
That's
I
a-
don't know eventually how. That's how I potentially see your prediction coming true.
That's a great point. Obviously, Bivol a different animal, different footwork. You know, Benavidez doesn't have footwork. That's probably like it's always been known. But obviously, his offense is his defense, as you can't really, you know. So, I feel like we're giving Zurdo a zero fucking chance here. If there is a way, how do you think?
That's a good
He's
question.
got to rock
would
him
be-
early. He's got to rock him early. So go back to this time.
He's gotta get a respect
We're
early.
talking about complete different fighters and complete weight classes. But you guys remember when Morales fought Pacquiao?
Yes.
So you have Morales who's willing to take 3 to land 1.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but that one that he
The
landed.
one was the more effective.
And you're right.
That was the first Morales Pacquiao fight when he won. He lost the next 2, right? But like that's what I'm saying. So I think it has to be like a similar type of strategy at a I know it's a different, complete heavier division, but weight class. But
I mean, yeah.
if that one has to land though.
I to agree to that, it's just Benavidez is known as a guy that's going to come forward.
Right.
I think Zurdo needs to set the tone and say, in order for him to win the fight and have a chance, they need to go toe to toe and like stand there and trade punches, right? Benavidez is going to beat him on the hand speed.
while
But to your
still
point,
while still boxing.
I just think to your point, right? Benavidez' hand speed is a lot quicker.
Way
But in
quicker.
order for Ramirez to like, hey, I need him to feel this one uppercut that's I have waiting.
Exactly. You got to be able to
You
win
gotta
to
have
take
that
a
one.
couple.
He's got to have that one in the chamber and make him feel it.
Plus, he has an advantage too. He's a heavier fighter. maybe Benavidez, like he should be able to take a couple of punches. You know what I mean?
Because towards the end, Benavidez is, I think, is going to be better conditioned. He's the one that's going to be pushing him back. So if you get him, you have to get him early, be able to take some in the beginning to land the one or two big punches that you're going to land.
And Zurdo,
that's his only path.
Zurdo looks bigger too, bro.
He is bigger.
And it looks bigger. So use that Tyson Fury type of strategy to use that weight.
Yeah.
Use that weight. You know what I mean? Like put the weight and let him wear down, so he's not as strong in the latter rounds of the fight where normally he is. You know what I mean? So
basically, Zurdo has to come in the best shape of his fucking life, and he has to fight the perfect fucking fight.
I mean,
he has to make.
You don't have to say a perfect fight because that's the equalizer. If you catch him once,
what I mean, perfect fight is we're not gonna know until the day of.
Yeah.
We'll see like, oh shit, this guy had a perfect game plan. Obviously, making David Benavidez miss a lot, which is very rare. If you can frustrate him,
right,
that might be a great thing to do. But so we'll see, man. Super excited about this fight. I see what we're gonna end up watching this fight.
So I said by decision. You said stoppage. The referee stopped. Pick a round.
Huh?
Pick a round.
10.
And you're knocked the fuck out.
That's a good prediction. I have.
And you're saying out cold. Zurdo's laying there.
Either out cold or him just like acting like he can't get up anymore and shit. He's gonna get to 10 count for sure.
That's a wild take.
And I would say in the later rounds as well. I'll say 11th round.
All
right, man. And the same undercard. We have the co-main event, which is Resendiz versus Munguia. Resendiz coming from defeating Caleb Plant.
Great victory, yeah.
And a kind of a shocking win, of course.
Yeah, it's
but a very convincingly win. And then we have Munguia coming in from winning his last fight. Who did he fight against last? Was it Surse? Was that the
Surachi or whatever?
Surachi, his get back. Surse, I think, no?
Yeah.
Getting his revenge on that fight. But man, how do you feel about this being a co-feature for this, Benavidez?
I like it based on the fact that what's his name, Resendiz is coming off a big win against Caleb Plant. I just thought about this actually right now. I'm gonna pick Resendiz to win. He's an underdog right now.
Oh, why you gotta take my shit?
You could. Hey, go ahead.
I don't want this.
Take over. Take over.
I don't want this. Go ahead. I'll finish.
No, because then you're just gonna use the reasons that I pick why he's gonna win as your reasons. So I want to hear your reasons.
No, I won't. Trust me, I won't. Go ahead.
All right, bro. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Exactly. So he didn't have
and
no.
No, I remember.
So it switched.
Before I was interrupted. Hold on. I think Resendiz is gonna win.
Okay.
He's an underdog right now, and this is why. Resendiz trainer is Manny Robles.
Jeez, that's it.
As we've come to know, when it comes to underdogs,
Manny Robles is the greatest trainer according to every time he fucking brings out Manny Robles.
He's better than Andy Lee.
Fuck out of
here. Now you cross the line, bro.
Now you cross the line. There we go. Right now, bro.
So I just think because of that, Munguia, obviously after he got popped, lost by KO. I think he's still training with Reynoso.
Wait. Wasn't Munguia found, like, didn't they reverse it? He was found out.
He was clean?
Yeah, he was clean.
Okay. So, sorry, Munguia. That said, I just think what's his name? Resendiz has all the momentum.
He's got all the momentum, bro.
He's got all the momentum to win. He's got the right trainers. I don't know. Munguia, I was never too high on him to begin with. But I could see this being a fight of the night. But
yeah,
just based on where Resendiz is, his trainer, all things considered, I don't think he knocks him out. I think Munguia is going to be a lot more conservative now after that knockout loss. But, yeah, obviously, before you mentioned that you'd pick him to win, I guess I pick him to win, too.
I picked him to win. Mine's pretty straightforward. He's coming off. No, it could be. Is it Caleb Plant? Like wasn't at his best day.
So, well, that's another
Caleb Plant. But he's coming.
Let me interrupt you because my turn to interrupt you. One of the things that I did hear, Caleb Plant that fight. His new trainer Stephen Bredman Edwards, said that he wasn't himself at training camp. He kind of wanted to do things his way. So he's the same trainer that got him the knockout against what's his name, Anthony Durrell or Andre Durrell when he did the graveyard thing.
Yeah.
So he looked great, right? But then he said this camp. So Stephen Bradman Edwards separated from Caleb Plant on his own. He said, if you're not going to do things the way that I want my fighter to portray me as a trainer, then I don't want to work with you anymore. So when you say Caleb Plant, I don't know which Caleb Plant that
Right.
was.
So that's what we were talking about earlier off camera about. Like we were saying the same thing.
It's hard to tell because Caleb hasn't fought either after that.
So it could be that, but he looked. But it was besides the fact you can't take away from like he looked great at that fight, bro. Resendez looked great at that fight, bro. He won that fight like clear-handedly, right? So, and I think a lot of people like rated Munguia a lot higher than I did as well, right? I agree with Lefty on that point. So I just, as far as like movement, similar type of fighters, I agree they could be the fight of the night, but I have Resendez winning this fight too.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting both of y'all to have Resendez winning. I mean, I ain't mad at that either, but I have Munguia winning. I have him winning pretty convincingly. I think he's gonna overwhelm Resendez. I think Munguia's been here before at this level, the lights, I guess you could say. It's hard to tell as well because Resendez hasn't fought since the Caleb Plant fight either, so it's hard to tell either. So I have Munguia winning this one. All 12 rounds they're going to go. I'm hoping for an action-packed fight like most of Munguia's fights.
If it's an action-packed fight, it's not going to be a 12-round. It's not going to be convincingly like that, though.
Munguia gets hit a lot, bro.
Munguia gets hit a lot, but he also goes 12 rounds while getting hit a lot.
No, I'm saying it's not going to be.
He also hits a lot.
But it's not going to be like a landslide, like you're saying, if it goes 12 rounds like that.
I don't see Resendez like at that level where I'd be like, I guess like I said, he beat Caleb Plant, but like
what's Munguia's best win?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably fucking Derevchenko.
That's what I'm saying. So
Derevchenko, the Suicide Revenge, obviously, but
I wouldn't call that a big one. He should have won to begin with.
He should have won that to begin with.
Exactly.
So we're right, Ali. In other words.
No.
We're right, man. He's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
so you think it goes 12?
I think it's gonna go 12 rounds.
All right.
And I got Munguia winning. So that's how I see that one playing out.
Okay.
And then we also have Oscar Duarte versus Fierro. Oscar Duarte was supposed to fight Hitchens in this last, when was this?
A month ago, maybe?
A month or two ago. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about Hitchens ducking that fight. It certainly seems that way, in my opinion. He always does weird shit like this, so I don't know. But anyway, moving forward, I mean, Oscar Duarte got Fierro. Fierro coming off a, what's it, DQ?
He punched somebody.
I think he kicked him. He kicked him
and got disqualified. Right? And then I think the fight before that, he had lost too.
But against Pitbull, no?
Something like that, yeah. And
that was controversial. I mean, a lot of people say that he should have won that fight. I mean, nonetheless, throws a shitload of punches. Very aggressive fighter. I have Oscar winning this just by pure skill, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think...
Does Oscar have the knockout power to... Pitbull couldn't knock out Fierro, so maybe not. So I'm probably going 12 rounds.
It'll be a good card, bro. It'll be a lot of good fights. I think all three of those fights have, like, a chance to be, like either one of those three fights.
It's going to be some action for sure.
The best fight of the day. Yeah, it could be great.
Yeah, Oscar Duarte's, he's obviously ready, more ready, I would say, for this fight. He's a heavy favorite. I think he knocks him out. I think Oscar Duarte, since his TK loss to Ryan Garcia, has solidified his name as one of the top 140 pounders in the world. Obviously added the big stable that he has training with him and sparring with him with Robert Garcia. So there's Lidolfo Delgado too. I think I have this one by knockout, and I have it maybe around the 7th or 8th round.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ali, anything to add?
No.
So we can move on to...
Let's go.
Yeah, what I like about Oscar Duarte, he talks shit too. Like he's a good trash talker outside of like promotions in his personal social media. So he's not like afraid to like call people out. So that's good. Like to your point, he's ready, to fight the top fighters out there. So he needs to win this, I think, in very convincingly fashion, man, to really get his name towards like.
Well, I mean, it's not
these American fighters.
It's who he's fighting, so it's not really gonna. Yeah, it's the card. You're right though. It is it's a big card he's fighting under, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if he has like a great showing, yeah. But I mean, if he was fighting like Hitchens or somebody, that would have been a different story. You know what I mean? Like you beat him, You know
He
what I mean?
deserves that fight. I heard there was
Right.
issues with him not getting paid in his last one either. There was like a holding account or something where he didn't collect the money for Hitchens not making weight. Someone had to foot the bill that wasn't paid to him for missing weight.
And he didn't get paid.
I think eventually they sorted something out, but obviously he didn't
Yeah.
get paid what he deserved. And I mean, it's just good for him. Duarte, a guy stays in shape. They were talking about if he wins his fight, him and Lindolfo Delgado were going to be matched up, but they both get trained by Robert Garcia, so I don't see that happening.
That's a great, actually, like, we can talk about this in the future, but, like, you know how, like, with Zufa and all this stuff?
Yeah.
With this type of situation, if a fighter misses, can't make the fight, right, how does the payout system go? Well, like, process work out?
I
on
think
that end?
that varies by
Yeah.
situation.
But that's something that we can talk about.
Most
you know
of the
what I
time,
mean?
they don't get paid.
Yeah.
You're lucky if someone like Oscar Duarte's case, he got something, which is super rare.
But, like, in a...
I mean, you invest a lot of money in that.
But
Time,
if it's, like...
preparing.
camp.
Yeah.
But Zufa will have... A benefit will be like they'll have someone ready to fight, just like UFC. So, like, that's like a pro
Yeah,
in
what the
that argument for their
I think
argument.
that's why I'm saying it varies by scenario.
What happened to that? They used to have that in boxing where they had a backup fighter.
They do. They still have it, but that's why I'm saying it varies by scenario.
Mm-hmm.
For this one, they didn't, because obviously Hitchens was a world title holder. I don't know. Like I said, it's never the same situation.
But that doesn't happen as much, though. You're right.
No, it's too risky for someone like Oscar Duarte.
Because people like that, like a quick fight or someone will
He
pick up
could
a fight
lose
and
and
they,
then not
they can
become the
lose.
contender.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good argument.
Yeah, but I mean, you're preparing for Hitchens, and then they throw somebody else with completely different style, and like, so yeah, man. All right, man. So, did you get your prediction for this
so
one?
I got Duarte winning
Duarte.
By what?
decision.
And you?
You brought up some great points, man. Now I'm leaning
Thank
towards the TKO. I had him by decision, going all 12 rounds, action-packed fight. We just didn't see enough out of Fierro in this last fight. But the only reason why I said no TKO or KO is because he took a lot of punches from Pitbull and he didn't go down. With that being said,
But
He'll get to you.
With that being said, he took a lot of damage.
He gets you, yeah.
with that being said, he took a lot of damage. So I have Oscar, like we said, he's ready to get to the next level. I have Oscar winning by TKO. Middle rounds, 7. Fuck
All
it.
right.
That's what he said.
That's what you said? You said 7
What I
rounds?
said, yeah, you just, that's what I'm going to make you guys have your
I'll say 8 round. 8
Just
round.
copied and pasted
I'll do
what I
8th
said.
round.
I just said 8th round.
You said 7.
7 or 8.
Oh, so in that case, anywhere between 7 to the 12th round, I got him winning.
Good prediction.
Okay.
I respect that.
Man, that morning, that same morning, thankfully, Saturday morning, not Sunday morning, we have
7 a.m. Expect the ring walk.
7 a.m. What, Central Time or?
Central Time.
That's good.
Expect the ring walk for the main event.
I'll be up. I'm ready.
Fight
Ali
of
won't.
the.
Ali gets up at 11 a.m. He's fucked.
I'm waking up at 4 a.m. getting ready for that fight.
Ali has to stay awake all Friday night in order
I
to catch
can't
the
wait.
fight.
I've been waiting for this fight for
All right.
so long.
Big Japanese showdown in Tokyo, I'm
Tokyo
assuming.
Dome, 55,000.
Tokyo
Biggest
Dome,
fight in Tokyo, I would say
55,000.
probably
Biggest fight in Japan history.
history, bro.
Absolutely.
It sucks that, like, it doesn't even... I just wish people knew how big this was in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's like equivalent. It not the same like
Careful.
accomplishments,
Watch it.
but it's
Careful.
like Floyd versus Pacquiao in their prime. That's
Yes.
the equivalent
Yes.
to that type of fight
In
Like,
Japan.
In
Yes.
Japan, like
It's
that's
probably
For a
the-
boxing fan, I guess, in general. Boxing
yeah,
fans.
like it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, and I've talked about this before. Over there, it's common for them to have fights on like Monday nights, Tuesday nights, similar to in the U.S. They used to have like Marvin Hagler, Sugar
Yeah,
Ray,
yeah,
would
back
fight
in
on
the
like
day, yeah.
Tuesday events, right?
Yeah.
There'd be big events.
and fucking
Over there, it's-
Omaha, Nebraska, and shit, or like in the middle of
Yeah.
fucking nowhere, Kentucky and
So
shit.
it's probably one of the biggest athletic events in the country's history
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
because of how big these guys are.
undefeated, both undefeated,
30
pound for pound top.
32-0 for Nakatani, 24
With that being
knockouts.
said, Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatani. Go ahead.
I've said this once, I've said it again, and I'll say it again. I think this is the end of Inoue's run.
You've been praying for this day.
I'm
like,
not praying for it.
You were like counting down
I'm
the
being
day.
objective, bro.
He's
I'm being-
like one of those people. Like he's
I'm
gonna
not
keep
praying-
winning.
I have nothing against
He's gonna keep
Inoue.
winning, and eventually he'll lose, and he'll be like, "Man, I told you. This is, this is the time. You know what I mean? His time."
Wait,
was
are
coming."
you being controversial just to be
No,
controversial?
I've said this before, bro. And if you can't
He did
hear
say
him.
it. He did say
But
it.
our only audience
But even-
host, our only audience today will agree that I've said this.
But you said the same thing about when he fought.
No. I know where you're going with
What
this.
was that dude?
MJ.
MJ.
I said that MJ was good. I said MJ was
Yeah.
You
good.
said, bro, this
I
fight.
said
You
MJ's
said
gonna give
MJ
him
was gonna
problems.
win.
And it was completely
I said MJ's
one-sided,
gonna
bro.
give him problems. Was I wrong?
And you-
Yes. I didn't say MJ was gonna
Well,
win.
finally he
Right
did.
now, I am saying that I think Junto Nakatani is gonna be Inoue. I think
You
he's
said
gonna.
by knockout too.
I think you're upset that Inoue is just
last
beating up
week
all
you
these
said.
Mexicans.
Listen, hold on. This dude said last week he said he's getting knocked out. That's what you said.
When did I say that?
You said that. You
said
said
that.
On the
that.
podcast?
Yeah, you
It's
said
on the
that.
If I said it, then I said it.
You say he's getting knocked
Well,
out.
then double down on it.
All right, I am. He is. So I think I think Inoue is gonna go down in one of the first 3 rounds. He's at least gonna go down once in one of the first 3.
Okay.
Is that a crazy take? Let me start.
Yes.
no,
It's
it's happened
happened.
before.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. You know that it's happened before, right?
But is Nakatani that? See,
Well,
So if-
Nakatani's gonna be the
all right,
best fighter
Let
he's
me
fought.
finish
bro.
what I'm gonna say.
seeing his last performance. Go ahead.
I'm agreeing with you, motherfucker.
But yeah, no, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't care if you agree. I want to say what I say.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but you're saying no. I didn't say that. I did say you did say that.
Okay, I said he was gonna knock him out.
Okay.
And this
More than
is
once.
how I think the fight's gonna go. If I
Okay.
may.
Yes, go ahead.
Carry
Proceed.
on.
Okay. He's gonna fall. He's gonna take him
But
down.
then at the
Go ahead. Carry on. Bro.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
my
What's your
bad.
prediction?
Go ahead.
He's gonna knock him down in one of the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
Right. Luis Neri, the same left hand. Inoue has a knack for putting down his right hand. Nakatani, in my opinion, has more power. Is better technically skilled than Neri. Neri, he eventually beat him, right? I don't think he's gonna have the time, and I don't think he has the gap in skill is a lot closer for him to try to do that stuff and then come back and win the fight. If he does that, I'll give him my praise. But I think he's top 3 pound for pound right now. Inoue is. But I think, and I've said this before, with guys in smaller divisions, their descent comes down a lot quicker than other boxing weight classes.
Well, you comparing.
Oh,
to
no,
what?
let me finish.
Well,
Let me finish. And then you can say what you got to say.
Go ahead.
Because then I forget what I want to say. So then I think their descent comes, again, I know what you're going to say, the way that I'm thinking.
What?
Chocolatito.
Yeah.
So I think their descent just comes in snappier and their downfall is quick.
Okay.
I think this is the start of, or the, now I'm not going to say the end of his career, but I think this is where he gets hurt. I do think he gets knocked out, and I think it happens in anywhere from from the 9th through 11th round. And just because, like I said, from a technical standpoint, this is the most skilled fighter he's ever fought. Top 10 pound for pound Nakatani. Can we agree there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So is it a crazy...
Wait. Is Nakatani more skilled than Stephen Fulton?
Yes.
Skilled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. More power than Stephen Fulton.
More power.
Obviously, a lot of it, right, you're looking at it in hindsight. Stephen Fulton wasn't that when he got knocked out, right?
You know who else had a lot of power?
I don't care who had.
MJ.
I don't care who had a lot of power. I'm
MJ
saying about
MJ had a
now.
lot of power.
Mike Dives had a lot of power, right?
But it's MJ have the skills that Nakatani has.
All right, since you guys aren't gonna let me finish, you guys, I said what I had to say.
I
and
mean, you
got-
talked for like fucking 5 minutes. So
Well, because I got interrupted every 3 sentences. So
you just said that
I will let you talk, and I want to.
you made your prediction.
Yeah.
You just said
Now I'll let you guys
Pound for
make your
pound,
prediction.
pound for pound, Nakatani. You said it's up to be agreed. Yes, this is to be the most skilled fighter Inoue's ever faced. Yes.
probably yes, yeah.
Okay. So is it crazy for me to think that, based on what history has told us in these smaller weight classes, that he gets knocked out?
No.
It's not crazy, right?
No.
Okay, thank you. Let you have your time. And I won't interrupt you.
Since, you can interrupt me. I don't give a fuck. You've been doing it for like a year already, so it's fine. I think.
I know you're definitely on his side for this one. I could tell just off of your.
Well,
crazy
you need.
commentary.
Well, you need that fucking. You
No,
need
I don't
someone
need
to
a
be on
backup.
your
bro.
side.
All of my predictions
I'm
are
gonna back you
solid.
up, bro. I got
What are
you.
you
bro.
fucking
Nakatani
10 years
don't
old?
knock
All of
him
my
out, bro.
predictions are backed up with facts.
Okay. Here's my fact for you.
Your fact is Manny's rooting for him. Or
Your
Manny's gonna be like, Ali's
fact,
rooting
your
for him.
facts is you're just basing it off what has happened to other fighters.
Right.
Okay.
You haven't
exactly.
said how
History-
Nakatani could.
I just told you, bro.
Every fight.
In a way, puts his right hand down.
Yeah,
a
which
lot.
has happened. A lot of fighters have caught him with the left hook, bro.
When I think this
Okay.
time he gets caught,
he doesn't
different.
get up.
This one's different.
eventually, yes.
Okay.
Crazy, so what?
Okay.
Crazy, so what?
I'll be honest, we're fucking wrong with you, but that's not that makes a lot of sense.
I appreciate
the whole
that.
thing would make a lot of
Man,
sense.
did you agree
But-
that made a lot of sense?
I mean, Nakatani
go ahead.
is dope.
Go ahead, bro.
He's super talented, bro. I'm not saying all that, but you guys already know how I feel about Inoue. I think he
Yeah,
is.
you love him and you.
I love the dude. I think he's a throwback. He's one of the.
But what's that got to do with what?
He's one of the best fighters I have personally ever seen.
He's an all-time great.
All time great. And what makes him so good is that he's, like I said, he's like a fighter's fighter, bro. He doesn't. Every fight that he gets into, so everything he's won, he's been knocked down, right? A few times he's
Plenty
been
of
knocked
times.
down. He's always has a counter.
Yeah.
So he has adjusted.
Yep.
He has got a little bit of Terrence
Yeah.
Crawford in him, bro. He's just mid fights. He's a
I
great.
agree.
You know what I mean? So that's what makes.
I agree.
The fist
He
of all.
just
Go ahead,
hates
go ahead.
Crawford.
So
Go
when
ahead,
you
go
feel
ahead,
Crawford's
go
name,
ahead,
fist
go
of
ahead,
all.
go ahead.
But he has that in him. What I agree with you when you said talking about the MJ fight. Like I was going to be a tricky fight and stuff like that. The reason why this gives me even more confidence and why I think he's going to win is the way he gets up for the big fights. He's got caught, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. But, like, for a bigger fight. No, because
Yeah, he's been
I'm
dropped.
sure
So
Manny
what?
Pacquiao getting caught by Marquez was fun.
Also, hold on. There is a lot. Yeah, he beat him 3. Get the fuck out. Why y'all keep bringing up Marquez, bro?
Hey, doesn't it suck?
Oh, yeah, no, let's keep throwing this motherfucker out there. Eventually, he's going to lose a fight. Bro,
Marquez is in the list of top 15 more skilled fighters ever. So
come on, man.
Go ahead,
Stop
bro.
playing with that.
Go
Let's
ahead.
not-
I feel like I'm
let's not
swinging
guess
to
it.
my side now.
Go ahead,
Welcome
bro.
to the team, Manny.
I'm starting now.
Now I'm losing my
Starting to see it.
losing my train of thought. The
I'm starting
reason
to see the
You're making
chocolatito.
him, you bro, the shit you're
Hold
saying
on,
is making
the
him
reason-
go against Inoue.
okay,
You're
I'm not gonna say
pissing me off, bro.
the
Fuck.
reason why I think like it's a big fight. There was a lot of talk about how MJ was gonna he's gonna be his toughest fight so far.
It
Yeah,
should have been
A
on
lot
paper.
of people said that. It wasn't just you. And
Okay.
if you looked at the odds, it would actually weren't that far.
you
They
weren't
were
the
I thought
only-
it'd be closer.
It
You
was a
weren't the
close
only
odds.
casual dummy who said that.
Right. So the thing is, he got up the way he beat MJ. He was like, okay, he gets up for bigger fights and stuff. Like he's far more talented than you might think it is. You know what I mean? He can adjust mid fights. So if you don't think like how we fought every time we watch Terrence Crawford fight, but he's gonna adjust even though how he looks. That's exactly how I feel about Inoue.
I don't feel like that.
And I think Inoue is a more exciting fighter than Terrence Crawford was. And then in a sense, like he gets up in a bigger fight. Hey, look, he's fighting the biggest dude. He's fighting everybody, bro. Even if he loses his fight, that's not gonna happen. If he he's already got a fight lined up. He's gonna keep fighting, bro.
He's
not
got
one of
two
those
fights lined up already.
Right, like so it's not one of those things. That's what I love about this dude, bro. He's winning this fight, bro. And you know what? Knockout.
What round?
5.
Like knockout?
Knockout.
5?
That was a
5.
passionate 5, bro.
I think he was gonna say like 8 till you pissed him off, man. He went down to 5.
I got him riled up now.
Now, I just want to say one thing though. I said he was gonna knock him out, and when
Nah, you have to stand on it.
No, I'm not walking it back. When Nakatani beats him, whether it's by knockout or not, I don't want you guys to be like, oh well, he beat him by decision. You said knockout. At least I predicted that Nakatani would win, and I want you guys next week to be like, yeah, you predicted that.
Why?
Not to be like, oh well, he didn't win by knockout.
I wouldn't care. You win a fight. It
Okay,
doesn't matter.
thank you.
It is what it is.
Yeah, why do you need that?
Yeah,
Because
why?
he might not knock
Why
him
do you
out.
need that?
He might
fucking
not.
low on fucking.
He might not. He might not. knock
Low
him
on
out.
confidence.
Yeah.
Inoue is an all-time great.
He needs this one, OG. Come on.
All right, tell him why he's wrong, man.
I have Inoue just beating the fuck out of Nakatani. I am putting on a masterclass. The same thing I said about Dave Benavidez.
Fickle.
I'm gonna say it about Inoue. I've always said this about Inoue. He's on a mission, bro.
Bro, you think everybody's on a mission? You said the same thing about Benavidez.
That's what I'm saying. The same thing I said about
Benavidez lost the fight
Benavidez.
yet?
All right, sure.
Okay then.
I think Inoue is gonna be just once again adjusting, fighting the perfect fight. I just don't see Nakatani, especially after his last performance.
Yeah.
And I know you don't like
That's
to
fair.
judge fighters of their last performance usually.
I don't.
But
I like to-
You shouldn't, because styles do make fights, bro.
You
But
shouldn't,
no,
shouldn't.
Some
But-
fighters can being
No, but it's
if
fair
we
though
go to
because in boxing it's not like any other sport. You do it every so often that you kind of do have to judge them based on their last fight. Sometimes, I just don't think it's fair to do it for every fighter. There's an anomaly.
For fighters like them, maybe not. Fighters like them who like
If you think about the last fight, one guy had a tough opponent. He looked amazing. A guy that was supposed to give him a lot of problem. And the other guy didn't have a strong opponent, and he didn't look that well.
Okay.
So if you go on just off that, you'll think that Inoue is going to destroy this dude.
And that's what you
Just based off that. I've never thought about that.
because I had him winning by decision. But you know what decision? All 12 rounds.
That might be
It's
the
gonna be a
that might be the
beautiful.
most likely
It's
outcome.
gonna be a beautiful boxing match. In a way, it's just gonna be too much.
Let me
Nah, I don't see any
let me
knockdowns.
ask you guys this: over 1.5 knockdowns, over or under for the entire fight?
Oh, under it's gonna be one. Inoue is gonna knock.
You know
him
what?
out.
I'm gonna say
Just
1-1. They're both getting dropped.
Okay,
So that's over.
Yeah,
Right.
that'll be great.
I think 2. You know what? I'm gonna say 3.
It's too much for the morning, bro.
I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Inoue, or it's gonna be not Inoue going down first, Nakatani, and then Inoue going down again.
Okay, then it's gonna be.
And
It's gonna be
if
bro,
you're talking about that, this
bro,
fight's gonna live up to
if
the hype.
Inoue goes down,
If that happens, this fight is gonna live up to the hype, bro.
if Inoue goes down early, Nakatani is really in fucking trouble after that.
It's a weird fucking take.
That's exactly what's
He is really in
track
trouble
history.
after that, bro.
basically
Track
saying,
record.
If this guy gets his ass kicked, he's gonna kick the other guy's ass.
He better watch his back. No. I'm talking about if he
No,
drops him
track
early.
record. Every time he's gonna drop,
Hey,
he's
listen.
coming
All
back.
right,
in.
bro. So
If
if
Nakatani-
Nakatani knocks,
if
now you're
it's
gonna be
a-
like, hell yeah.
Hey, listen.
Now anyway, we're all gonna be cheering when Nakatani
No,
knocks
of
him
course
down.
not.
Bro,
I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, Nakatani took him
But
down. Like, hell yeah.
Nakatani can't get confident. He can't say, "Oh, I got him now."
Which I don't think he is, and I just said like that's why I think.
Bro, I think the reason that's the beauty of it, bro. Like that's what makes him such a good fighter, bro. He has been dropped,
Right.
and then he gets up and he figures out a way to like completely just like reverse the whole thing, bro. So
There you go. If Inoue wins, or if Inoue gets knocked down early, then he'll definitely win.
Yeah, I would say Nakatani's in trouble. Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that countless times. Inoue is not
It's
somebody.
like saying, bro,
wait, what is it with you like with Inoue though? Like why like
I don't
like,
have anything against him.
No,
No, I'm
what is-
looking at it objectively.
Bro, this guy's petty. If you don't like somebody, he's not giving them a chance. And
Hey, it's just like weird as fuck, bro.
He's
Just like
done-
how
he's
you don't
done it
like
with
I
Zayas.
don't think no you Zayas. I
Wilder.
just don't think Zayas is that good. Neither
Zayas,
is
Wilder.
Well, why you gotta bring up Zayas, bro?
He did.
I know you don't like Puerto Ricans, but
Oh,
I'm just saying.
my God.
I'm just saying.
I think I've seen too many flaws in Inoue's game. Eventually, one of those flaws is gonna be your downfall.
I think
That's all it is.
That's why I think that's why
against
I'm
him.
a big fan
You
of
guys
him because
pin me against fighters like
I
I
think
got something
no, I
personal.
think that's why I'm a big fan of dude. I think I'm like a common boxing fan will likes Inoue in a sense if they saw him a little bit more because of
I
that.
think people-
because he's vulnerable, he gets knocked down.
Yeah.
But then he
Absolutely,
adjusts
And I think
absolutely.
if people in the U.S. or on this side of the world watched him more, there would be more boxing fans.
They'll
because
love
of
this
him.
dude, bro. He's a
Yeah.
throwback. He's Arturo Gotti, but more talented than Arturo Gotti type of thing. Like he's like that type of fighter,
Rest
bro.
in
You know
peace.
what I mean? So
Yeah, and another thing about Inoue is he's fight whoever the fuck you put in front of him. He hasn't backed out from nobody or
there's no like
he
exactly.
has Bam. After this, we got Bam Rodriguez,
Just on that, actually.
and then after that,
We
we
got,
got Espinosa.
Espinosa.
Bro, that's a tough fucking ladder to climb, bro.
Just on that, before, is there anything else you guys want to add on the Inoue Nakatani?
Well, why are you trying to get away from this topic? Will?
No, because I'm not getting off topic.
I think the guy that can beat Inoue is Espinosa.
You
But,
only
like,
think guys that can beat guys that you like are other guys that you like.
what are you talking about?
You like?
Wait, is that a wrong?
Is that a wild
is
take?
that a crazy take?
I don't think Espinosa could be Inoue. I think he could, but I don't think that's the guy who beats him.
A lot of that. Who's a? I mean, he's a. I'm telling you, he's a smaller Fandora, bro. That's what he is.
Sure.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. Anything you want to add
Alright.
on Inoue's younger brother?
No, I mean interesting. He's Inoue's brother. From history has shown. You like to talk about history. The brothers are usually not that like.
They're wide far apart.
Which is kind of strange. Like, what's the difference between?
Maybe one learned from the other, but in this case, the better Inoue is older.
Yeah.
This guy again, same thing. Gets caught with the dropping his left hand.
We
Gets
seen
caught
it
with his left hand on
the
the right.
Canelo brothers, the Marquez brothers, the Chavez siblings as well. I mean, not the juniors.
Vargas.
but the
Vargas kids, the
Vargases.
youngest one is the.
And another one, the Benavidez brothers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting, man. Obviously, his brother being in that realm or in the universe makes it interesting because Bam fighting his brother would be a good story.
Yeah.
If Bam beats the
it's a
fuck out of his
great-
brother,
If you want to set it up like that, it'll be a fucking dope
Really?
storyline. and
But
shit.
but his brother has to win, and he has to win like decisively to win.
No, I think if he just whether he wins decisively or not, he still has the title. So for Bam, it's like he gets to unify at 118.
Yeah, then in that case, yeah, you just gotta win.
That said, say in a year and a half, Inoue fights Bam. You obviously pick Inoue.
We can talk about that later.
Whoever he fights, I'm picking in a way.
Okay.
I just say the only person I think has like a good chance of winning the fight will be
Bam is too
Espinosa.
small for Inoue. I think he's more skilled, but I think he's just too small.
Bam Master, yeah, he's gonna have to work his way out. He's gotta fight more. He's gotta fight more often, in my opinion, as well.
He just signed a new fight deal with. Who are you talking about?
Bam.
He just signed a new deal with Matchroom. So
I think that's just a problem with fighters here, bro. They don't fight enough.
No,
bro,
with Bam, you know what, Bam, one of the things he's always mentioned is that he doesn't want to fight into his 30s. So he's 25 right now, 25, 26.
So he's going to fight like a few more times?
He
That's
said
it?
he's like, I want to get in and get out, make my money, and I just want to fight the best when the time that I have. And that's,
I think that mindset is kind of...
You talk about Bam?
It's not a real boxer's mindset, bro.
No,
You know what I mean?
I think Bam is just naturally skilled, and I think he knows it, so he's gonna milk it for. That's a great point too. But I do think he
Well, as a
wants to
boxing
win.
fan, you like a statement like that?
No, I don't. I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Because then that explains a lot of like maybe why this.
I think long term it'll bother me.
But
I think if he could put on a show. And
I was gonna say, yeah, he
Mikey
has.
Garcia was like that, and I was a big fan of him.
Yeah,
He said that.
and Bam Rodriguez calling people out, like he's willing to fight whoever.
Yeah,
So,
as long as within
at
the
least
next
that's what he
3,
says,
4
so-
years that he says he has in the game, he gives you good.
he can get
I
out.
just
man.
feel like
Yeah.
you like if you want that type of bigger fights and stuff like that, you got to be active. Your face has got to be out there fighting, not just fucking on talking, interviews and shit like that. You got to fight.
Right.
So you got to at least fight twice a year, bro.
Ali hates Bam.
You know, you got to fight at least. Bro, I'm not a fan of any fighter that's not going to fight enough, bro. I don't know how I was a big fan of Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He did the same shit. You know what I mean? So,
I
like.
can tell you why. I'm
Well-
not say. Go ahead.
All right.
But you got to be. I like fighters that are active, bro.
On
So,
the Inoue,
you know what I mean?
any predictions on the younger brother fight?
Decision.
I think it goes decision. I think he
Decision.
wins it. Tone, what's his name? Yoka. He's got a few losses on his record. If he loses, it wouldn't. I don't even know. if the odds,
Kazuto
honestly, but
Aoka.
That said, action packed weekend. I don't know if there's anything else to add.
I mean, this is like the best boxing. This probably be the best. If it lives up to the hype, it might be the best fight card of the year, bro. Both way, like in here and in Japan.
Both
bro.
fights. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it this way. Saturday morning, we got the overseas cards going, and then at night we can
Yeah,
watch
the
it.
midday, like
'Cause
the 2 p.m. stuff.
Sunday
they, like,
morning
can throw
shit, bro.
some-
That's a tough one, man. And I think they probably learned that from last time when Inoue fought at fucking 7 a.m. or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, man. Only I stayed up.
I mean, I don't think they care.
Me and AC stayed up.
Oh, that's right.
I think they do care.
Bro, they're in Tokyo. They're like making money hand over
Well,
fist.
for this fight, the reason why they did it because they know it's the magnitude of the fight that's so big. That's why they pushed it a little bit further. So it's gonna be what time over? That's what I'm thinking. Like
The ring walk for the main event, like I said, what I read is...
no. Oh, what's gonna be the time over there?
I don't know, bro. I'm not an expert in
I think it's 12 hours ahead or something like that.
Really?
Japan.
I think.
So it
I don't know why they said that. I think so. I feel like I checked that. I feel like I checked that not too long ago. No, yeah, I mean, a great weekend of fights. Super excited. This is, like I said earlier, the shit that we live for. I already told my wife, leave me alone that day. So we'll be good to go. So whatever the plans
He's
are.
definitely cutting this out. He's definitely cutting
I'm gonna put this
out.
shit in front of the video, and the first thing that comes out, bro. The first 5 seconds of the video. I try to get Soul House to do some fight night shit, and they're like, "Fuck out of here, bro." So we're working on it. But yeah, man, everybody, please tune in, like and subscribe. Check out all of our social medias, the Low Blow Podcast. Anything else before we close out?
I got nothing. Just
Appreciate y'all listening. We had a guest today. Our boy, you wanna say his name or no?
cousin Edgar, any...
I want to know what Edgar thinks is gonna win.
Quick predictions on Inoue Nakatani.
The Alice clan, a very big fight clan, right?
The only
Very
one,
big
the only
fight
one
family.
boxing,
My
what I mean,
supporters.
expertise I actually trust and shit.
My supporters.
That's-
Let them have it, Edgar.
Me, I was gonna say Nakatani,
Nakatani. He said
Okay.
Nakatani how?
and I've been telling Alex too since before he even told me. Nakatani by knockout.
Oh, dang.
Nakatani by knockout.
And
So
Benavidez versus
you're
Zurdo?
just saying other people's takes. So you're saying-
No.
Benavidez.
Bye.
They know until then. It might go slow.
Okay, there you go. That's it for the Low Blow Podcast, episode 26, I
It's gonna be a
believe.
rough one for the little man.
I gotta edit this shit.
I'm there, bro.
This was a passionate one, a lot of swear words and